The air was frigid, biting at my skin even through the layers of the sleeping bag. It was that deep hour of the night, the time when the world outside our tent felt alien and vast. I stirred from a restless sleep, heart pounding an uneven rhythm against my ribs. A low guttural growl seemed to emanate from beside me, and I turned cautiously, my breath catching in my throat. There beside me lay a figure shrouded in darkness. I could just make out the outline of a head and shoulders, but the face remained obscured. A wave of dizziness washed over me, the kind that comes from waking too abruptly into a nightmare you can't quite place. My hand instinctively reached out, desperate for the reassuring warmth of another human being. "Mark?" I whispered, my voice hoarse with sleep and a fear I couldn't quite name. "Mark, is that you?" The figure shifted, a low groan escaping from its depths. I recoiled slightly, my heart hammering against my ribs. That sound, it wasn't the familiar rumble of my boyfriend, Mark. It was something deeper, something primal and unsettling, fear, cold and sharp. Pierced through the haze of sleep, I held my breath, listening intently, every nerve ending on high alert. The figure rolled over, facing me now, and a low chuckle sent chills down my spine. "You're awake," a voice rasped, low and guttural. It wasn't Mark's voice. Panic seized me, constricting my throat, making it impossible to scream. I scrambled backwards, away from the figure, until my back hit the canvas wall of the tent. My hand fumbled for the flashlight, knocking against something hard and metallic. It was Mark's compass, the one I'd given him for his birthday, the one he always kept with him. The metal felt icy cold against my palm, and a terrifying thought began to take root in my mind. Light flooded the tent, blinding in its intensity. I shielded my eyes, squinting at the figure before me. It was a man, his features rough and unfamiliar, his eyes glinting with an unsettling amusement. He was wearing Mark's jacket, his scent filling my nostrils, a cruel mockery of comfort. But it was the object dangling from the stranger's neck that sent a surge of pure terror through me. The necklace, the silver wolf pendant with the ruby eyes, it was mine. I'd given it to Mark for good luck before we set off on this trip. A choked sob escaped my lips as I scrambled backward, the reality of the situation crashing over me like a tidal wave. This wasn't Mark. This was something else. Something twisted and wrong. "Where is he?" I whispered, my voice ragged with terror. "What have you done with him?" The stranger's smile widened, revealing a flash of teeth that seemed too sharp, too predatory. "Don't you recognize me, darling?" he purred, his voice sending shivers down my spine. "Don't you remember the stories they tell about these woods?" Fear, raw and primal, pulsed through me, urging me to flee. His words echoed the local legends, tales whispered around campfires about a creature that haunted these woods, a being that took on the form of loved ones, luring unsuspecting victims to their doom. I had dismissed them as folklore, mere stories to scare city folk like me. Now, staring into the stranger's eyes, I knew the terrifying truth. He lunged, his hand reaching out, but I was quicker. I grabbed the compass, the metal biting into my palm, and hurled it at him with all my might. It struck him on the forehead with a sickening thud, and he cried out, more in surprise than pain. I didn't wait to see what happened next. Scrambling out of the tent, I didn't dare look back. I didn't need to. The stranger's laughter, chilling and inhuman, followed me, echoing through the trees, a promise that I wasn't alone, that something was hunting me, something that wore the face of the man I loved. And as I ran, the image of the stranger's face, contorted in a mask of rage and hunger, was burned into my mind, a chilling premonition of the darkness that awaited me in the heart of the woods.